Yo, what's up, everybody? Hey, welcome to the Hurt Locker. I'm your host, Logan Herner. Second show here. It's gonna be a good one today. I can't wait. So, again, Logan Herner here, host of the Hurt Locker. Catch the show live on X, or if you want better quality, better picture, better sound, you can also catch it on YouTube. Go follow the YouTube link here, which should pop up on the screen. Yeah, right there. Follow and subscribe on YouTube. Ghost and Friends at 40 Acre Vibes. Again, better quality, better picture. We go on YouTube, helps us out big time. Thank you for tuning in. Got a good one today. Fun show today. We got a special guest coming in. Appearance with a legend in the college football world of the D2 level. Let's just say he's now pursuing his dream into being a NFL superstar, or just getting in the NFL in general. So we'll have him on today. He's competing for a roster spot in the NFL. I'll have him give you some more details on that. Gonna talk some film. Gonna have some highlight clips, hopefully. Crazy stat lines, and just talking some ball today. So good, the bad, and the ugly segment, which is going to be something you guys haven't seen before, and that'll debut today as we'll touch more on what that entails. Some conference winner predictions. We're going to go over some P4 conference winners, go over the G5 guys at a first glance and see what he thinks, see what his picks are, make it a little fun and put him on the spot a little bit. So yes, we're only 1 week away from college football starting up. We got a great little slate too in that first week. So, Saturday, we are literally 1 week away. So I want to give a shout out here. Shout out is, see if anybody actually knows. I'm going to play some clips. See if anybody even knows who this guy is. So D2 level, not everybody knows even what D2 football is, which is even more impressive why this guy's getting a shot at going to the NFL or making a name for himself. So happens to be a cousin of mine. So I've grown up with him. I don't have an actual brother. I consider him an actual brother to me, which is pretty cool. So seeing him grow up, he chose to go a D2 route and absolutely killed it. We'll go over the accolades. We could go on and on and on, probably 20 minutes worth of accolades, but we're not going to do that. We'll give you some good ones though. But yeah, let me play you some clips here, see what you think, see if anybody can name who this is. I'll give you a hint. He played at a tiny little school in Ellensburg, Washington. He had a couple chances to maybe go transfer, maybe go play at a bigger level, D1 level, or right off the bat out of high school, but he chose to go somewhere else, a little closer to home, somewhere that he just felt the vibe was right. And I'll let him go on some detail on that. So let's just play these clips, see what y'all think here.
First and 10 for the Falcons on the 41-yard line. Earns are under trouble, just going to throw it away. Jiminy,
he caught that.
Guess who got that?
Unbelievable.
That's why he leads the nation in interceptions.
Hurntzer was trying to throw
This
that one
man.
away, and Volk went up
I
to
love
get
it.
it, tipped it to himself. Great concentration.
I don't know what order
The
these
ball
went in,
on
but I
his
tried to
back,
put on the best ones
one-handed,
first, and I
grabbed
mean
that
that's pretty
interception,
spectacular. So
and that's why he leads the nation right there.
6 foot.
we love that. We do love that.
Out of the stadium.
So as it already gave it away, it's Tanner Volk. He'll be here in a second, but yeah, let's play the next one here. This one I was actually in here at this game in person for against Western Oregon, covering over the top there. Just easy money. Easy money. Ref's got to get out of the way, though. I don't know what we're doing there. He gets down. Let's just take the possession. Let's get down. He had 2 picks this game, by the way. That was the first of the 2. The whole family was intense. I think there was like 30, 40-something people in attendance just for him. Local game that was like, an hour away from home. So that was a great
8.5
turnout.
minutes left in the third quarter. Gibson
There's another one
launching
here.
over the middle of the field.
That's no pick. That's just called getting
Leveled
smacked.
as he caught
Not
the
only
football.
does the man have
Tanner Volk laying down.
not only does the man have hands, he also likes to lay the wood a little bit too. So there's a little clip of that. Get y'all one more. This should be a pick. Yeah, this is a good one. All the way across the field from where he started. Guy didn't like it. Tanner said, got you. We love that. Hey, let's give a little shout out here. Let's welcome him. Welcome him on in. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Tanner Volk. What's good? How's it going, brother?
Man, appreciate y'all for having me on.
Absolutely.
It should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, this is a cousin of mine. Pretty crazy to see him basically on the come up. I just remember as a little kid, he's 4 years old wrestling me around. And it was like literally 4 years old. And he's like, let's go in the driveway, play some hoop. Let's go on the yard, play football and tackle each other. I'm like, man, you are 4 years old. I just knew this guy's destined for some greatness. destined to make it happen. So cool to get him on here and kind of exploit him even more to the world. But I mean, he's already been making a name for himself already. So I mean, just give me a little, give the audience a little background, man. Kind of what you started, what you're looking for, and then where you are now.
Yeah, man. So I grew up in just outside of Portland, Oregon, and Beaverton, Oregon. Went to Aloha High School out there in that area. If anyone's familiar, played youth football for Aloha my whole childhood. Went to Aloha High School. Dad was my head coach.
Shout out Bill Volk.
After my junior year, my recruitment picked up a little bit. Had a good junior year of high school, and then March of my junior year, towards the end of my junior year, is when COVID hit. So it kind of took a big toll kind of on my recruitment, as I wasn't able to go across the border and meet coaches of schools in different states and stuff like that. So I had a lot of love from like Big Sky stuff, a couple of Pac-12 schools, stuff like that. But the biggest thing was they wanted to see me in person and wanted to get me up for their camps and stuff like that, and just wasn't able to happen. So I decided before my senior season of high school, because we had a spring season because we weren't able to play in the typical fall or whatever. So I decided to commit to Central Washington before my senior year of high school, and just kind of get that out of the way and just focus on one last year of high school ball, and then head to college, man. So I played 2 football seasons, I guess, in the span of 3 or 4 months, which is crazy. Went from high school to college. But yeah, I came into Central, and big thing at Central to go to school at the time was you had to have the vaccine shot. So there was quite a few guys on the team that didn't want the vaccine. And so I'm not going to get into all that stuff, but some people weren't able to, be on the team anymore because of those.
COVID was a wild time.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. That feels like a long time ago. But some people weren't able to, stay at the university for policies that they had put in, and obviously for their own beliefs and reasons and whatnot. So I did come in, and some of them happened to be safeties. So I kind of was already towards the top of the depth chart a little bit, just numbers wise. So I came in, I was taking reps with the twos right away as a true freshman. And then second game in, we played Eastern Washington, who's, FCS, Division I. Got to go in about second quarter of that game, and then kind of just never looked back and became a starter. Officially started the third game of the season, my true freshman season. And then, yeah, man, I know he said we're going to get into, career stats and accolades, but yeah, that was really
long list of those.
That was really game one of 46 that I played. Obviously I was 4 and done, and didn't redshirt or anything, so I wasn't there for a long amount of time. Felt like it went by fast, but yeah, just kind of, we can get into it more. But I got invited to Seahawks. I obviously went undrafted, but got invited to Seahawks rookie mini camp. Went there, had an interception and stuff like that. Felt like I did, fairly well.
He picked off Jalen Milroe. So anybody that knows who Jalen Milroe is from Alabama,
yeah.
All toot his horn, man. I mean, he picked off Jalen Milroe in a practice, whether it's minicamp or not. Everybody's familiar with the Marshawn Lynch and grabbing the family jewels down there and doing the backspin in the end zone. He pulls out the Marshawn. You can look up the Seahawks page on Instagram. They actually posted it all over the place. So that was like one of the coolest things, just seeing that in general. I asked him, like, what made you think to do that? And he's just like, why not, right? I mean, I'm here. Let's make a little stand for myself and make some noise. And I think he did that. I mean, it's just a matter of time of getting a phone call. I know you've gotten a couple maybe alerts from scouts and from your agent, just being on the ready and being ready to go. So that's kind of where you're at. And crazy backstory about him going to Central Washington. Again, it's a tiny school in Ellensburg, Washington. I only knew about this place. We had a former guy at Battleground High School that I grew up with when I was a freshman. He was a senior at Battleground, Kevin Haynes. So shout out to you, Kevin. You might be listening to this actually, because I sent you a text, so I'd be on here with him. So Kevin, absolute monster. When you get to Central as a defensive guy, 44 is like the captain number. That's like legendary status if you can wear that jersey. Doesn't matter the position. And basically you're the guy, right? You're the guy. If you have that number on, you're getting put in the history books. and Kevin was there prior and wore the number 44, and then went and played in the CFL. And so it was kind of crazy seeing Kevin there. And then he's going to go to school there. I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool. And then him and Kevin, I think you guys have met before, maybe once, or
I don't think
you guys ever meet.
We've definitely talked on the phone and
Yeah.
stuff, but
that was crazy seeing the connection there. And I talked to Kevin multiple times about you going there, and he's like, yeah, I hope he does well. And then one day, so where'd you wear? Number 39?
39 my freshman year, yeah.
39 for Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick. So where's 39? Where's 4? Because that was your number in high school, and that's your favorite number, right? Favorite number. And then they offered him the chance to wear the number 44. And that first year as a junior year was the year that the year of years, right? That was the Heisman for D2 year is what that was.
Yeah.
So like anybody that's not familiar, in D2 they have the Harlan Hill Trophy, which is basically the Heisman Trophy of Division II football. He was a finalist for that as a defensive guy. That speaks for itself. We'll go over some stats. And then won the Cliff Harris Award, which is National Defensive Player of the Year at the D2 level
for all small school.
For all small schools. So and he got to go down to Dallas and actually get a picture and meet Cliff himself and do all that, and pretty good honor. He's down in what they do, put like you're on the cement, or how they do that? They put your name on the.
Oh no, I thought they said something like that, but outside of like the Cowboys practice facility, they have like these big numbers of like their Hall of Fame guys that like stick out of the ground, like super cool, like not statue, but just like, I don't know, super cool thing that they have there. And they said that usually the winners of the Cliff Harris name gets engraved in that forever. But when we were there, I didn't see like any of the past winners. So,
okay.
Well, yeah, I'm not really sure how that works.
But you got the trophy. I mean, the trophy, right? That's it.
Yeah.
And how many took your team to the playoffs? How many times out of 4 years?
3 years.
Three of the 4. Made a deep run in the 1 year, and they actually faced the team who
lost in the national championship.
Lost the national championship. Excuse me. So again, pretty good career there. We can go over some of the stats. I know some of them off the top of my head, but you're obviously going to know more than me. So I mean, give me some. I mean, what are we talking stats wise? I mean, we had how many in a single season?
Yeah. So like I mentioned, I played 46 games. In 4 years, 44 of them I started in. I had the year he was talking about, the Cliff Harris season, I had 13 interceptions in 1 year. I believe 4 of the games I had multiple interceptions in. 13 interceptions. I had 2 pick sixes in my career. 13 in a year that tied the university's record. Someone else had 13 in the year, which is absolutely crazy. Yeah.
That's even repeated twice is crazy enough.
And then I had 6 my senior year, 5 in my first 2 years, so I had 24 total. And the previous record was 22. So
wow.
24. So hold the record for that, which is cool. And then I had 307 tackles as a safety. And I mean, I'm not going to give the method to our madness at Central Washington, but our safeties are big time impactful players within our defensive scheme there. So I had a lot of tackles and a lot of tackles at the line of scrimmage, fitting the run and that kinds of stuff.
And it's funny because I'll say firsthand, and he knows this conversation, when he was a senior in high school, he had to play quarterback simply because of some injury, lack of depth, and just the pure athletic ability of, he's a guy that can just make plays and make things happen. He started at receiver. He's always been a guy, his nickname is TD, right? So it speaks for itself. And watching him grow up, and Tanner Dean, right? So TD, the nickname, and it was a lot of touchdowns all the time. So my first thought was he's going to go play receiver. He's going to go play some type of skill position to where it's a highlight reel and scoring touchdowns. And when he told me, no, I think I'm going to go play safety, I was like, you're nuts. Like, you're not going to play safety. And it was no slight to him. It was the fact of, we go to his high school games and watch him. And to me, it didn't look like he was all about coming downhill, fitting it all the time, right? It was more like you're looking for the highlight of getting the pick and doing stuff like that. And so But then I watch on the offensive side of things and playing receiver, and it's just Moss City all the time, routing people up, making crazy plays. You know, the highlight film when you're senior year playing quarterback, it looks like Lamar Jackson running around the field, right? It's just crazy stuff like that. You know, he's doing punt returns for touchdowns. I mean, it's things like that. It was like, yeah, there's no way he's going to go play safety at the next level. And we told me that's what he wanted to do. You know, me and my dad, first reaction, which I'm sure your dad said the same thing, was like, gotta get bigger, right? We gotta get bigger, gotta get in the weight room and get serious about it. Which I don't know what you weighed in when you first got to Central.
Not much.
150 something, 160.
I was like 168, 170 or something like that. Yeah.
And then you're coming out of it. What are you at now?
I'm like 194, 195 right now.
And
so, I mean,
muscle,
not crazy
right?
huge, yeah.
But that's just sticking in the weight room, you know, getting better with our eating habits and actually getting on a regimen and taking it seriously, which is obviously brought you to the next level of where you're at now. So, you know, congrats on that single-handedly. We went to a game just last year for his senior night. It was actually snow flurries are coming down. It's a little cold. You know, clear night, right? It was all clear, super cold, snow flurries, and we're all thinking the same thing. Like we saw a big turnout, a lot of people came. There's 30 plus people at this game, and all of us are thinking the same thing. And how many did you need? Was it to break a record, tie a record? Can't remember.
You guys came to a couple of games, right?
But it was your senior, the very last home game.
Oh, and I didn't have any the senior night. We had our homecoming game, which is our third to last home game. I had 3 in the first half.
That's okay. That's the game.
The third one tied the record, and then the next, I think we went on the road and then had another home game, and then I had 2 in the first half, and those 2, the first one broke the record, but
because I was at the game that you broke the record. Yeah. So anyway, we're at the game and we're all thinking the same thing. Like, can he break it? Is he going to do it? Is it even possible to get 3 in one game? And I remember you had 2 in the first half, and we're all just going nuts. Like, we couldn't believe it. We're like, this is actually happening, right? It's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to do it. And it's another thing to do it when you got 30 plus people from your hometown and your family there to watch you. You know, I mean, that's some pressure. I don't know if it really gets to you like that or not. You've done it your whole life. You know, your family's been around to watch you, so it's no biggie. But you know, and it's like white noise, right? You get out there and it's just, you're not thinking about anything in the crowd. You don't even hear anything. You're just zoned in. But 2 in the first half, and then he gets the third one on a fake punt or it's like basically a muffed punt. The guy chucks it, and he's there of all the people to pick it up. And I'm like, what are the odds, right? And people can call it luck. They can call it whatever they want, which I think was the other thing people were saying about you was like, it's luck, it's this, it's that. And I'm like, well, if you watch the film and you're a football guy and you really know it, when you're in the right place at the right time, it's called IQ, and I know where to be, and I'm a ball hawk. I mean, that's what it comes down to. You can call it luck. You can say whatever you want. But if I'm there for a reason. I'm reading it. You know, I'm not no special defensive guru or anything, but even as a receiver that I played, you know, there was guys like that all the time. It was like anywhere you went on a route, whether they were a safety or a corner or a middle linebacker, it seemed like they were always there. You know, it's like if I'm making an out route, why am I getting tackled by a guy that's playing middle linebacker, right? You know, he's just there. They fly around. They're different than everybody else. And that's kind of what we saw with you. It was just different. We knew it since you were a kid, you know, since you were a little dude. And then now you're a full grown ass man, you know? So it's crazy. But, nonetheless, everybody is super stoked. We're still hoping he gets a chance. I mean, what's the future look like? Are we, you know, is a CFL kind of something that you would take upon yourself to do if, you know, the NFL didn't work out, or kind of what are you looking like for your future?
Yeah, I think, you know, there's so many different professional leagues now. I mean, everything and anything's still on the table. It's just about, you know, is it right for me in my life? You know, is it going to help me in my life? Things of that nature. So, yeah, I mean, Canadian Football League's got so many different rules for, you know, American players, and
very different
rules within the game. But, you know, a lot of people I know that played in the league are still playing in the league. So I don't think it would be a crazy adjustment. That's still on the table. Obviously, the NFL is, you know, everyone's dream, and everyone's got dreams and aspirations and making it there, and so do I. So I don't want to sell myself short and not give myself a few years to get to that level and not just get there, but excel within the league. And everybody knows, especially you guys know, it's hard to play for a lot of you guys, I'm assuming, are Texas fans and SEC stuff. Like, it's hard to play in that league, and then you go to the NFL, it's 10 times as hard. So as a small school kid, it's a big difference, but at the end of the day, it's still a child's game, just for higher stakes. And you're still playing the game, still same coverages with minor tweaks, and just faster players, bigger players, stronger players. But, that's why we work out, and we don't just sit down and get up and put our cleats on and go out to the field and
play Fortnite. Woo! Right?
But, yeah, man, so that's still the goal. Hoping to accomplish those things soon. And not just, like I said, not just get there, but excel while I'm there. Make a name for myself and, be able to take care of my family and, guys like this. So.
That's right. I appreciate it. Yeah. So that's pretty much everything I think I got. If you got anything else you can think of, do you want to exaggerate on or anything like that? But
you talked me up enough, man.
No, it's cool, man. It's all good. It's all love. But yeah, we'll have a little fun. We're gonna do some like Power 4 locks. So I know I'm covering G5 this year, the Greater 5. But I think just for fun for him, being on here, we'll let him do a couple picks and see what he's got for knowledge as far as what he's thinking people are going to win this. I mean, it's wide open, right?
Yeah.
We haven't even seen anybody. This was so crazy. Is we got a week till college football starts, which is nuts that it's already here. And I think this year might be one of the most wide open years of college football that we can imagine, just because transfer portal is in full swing. It's nuts, right? I mean, everybody's going everywhere. It's hard for us as guys that follow sports to even know, man, where did that guy go? Oh my gosh, he's at that school. I mean, he's at his fourth school, it's stuff like that. So it's trying to follow that, and then you actually realize where these guys are at, and then you're like, wow, that smaller school could be really good just because they have a guy like that.
Dude, I saw it was like few days ago, I saw that there's someone tweeted it. I think they said there's like 5,000 or 5,500 players still in the transfer portal that haven't been picked up. And it's like, there's so many guys in there that, want opportunities or better opportunities or a different opportunity within the same level, the same conference.
Right.
However that stuff works. It's crazy that some of those guys don't get picked up and, they just sit there and wait for an opportunity. And transfer portal is crazy, man.
That's why I'm so hyped about having Malik Murphy in a Beaver uniform, because he just went 9-3 with a Duke team that everybody was slept on in the ACC. That realistically, you look at all the teams and you're like, there's no way Duke should go 9-3 in this conference. So you bring a guy like that in to a place like Oregon State, and it's just nothing but noise. That's what everybody's looking forward to, and so that's why I'm so excited for this year alone, just for my team. But then you look at everybody else, Matir from Wazoo obviously getting in trouble for whatever's going on there. But now he's at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a place that I was talking about the other day is almost like QBU. You think about the guys that have come out of Oklahoma, Sam Bradford way back in the day, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Dylan Gabriel before he went to Oregon. It's just Jalen Hurts, Landry Jones. I mean, there's just guys one after another come out of there. Matir is obviously a crazy good athlete, extends plays with his legs. So he should be a lot of fun to watch in that type of offense that they run. They're high-scoring offense. They always have been. Yeah. So that'll be a lot of fun. So there's just guys like that go all over the place that you don't really think about because it's not your team. And then you realize you look at the schedules and you're like, well, yeah, this is going to be nuts. So anyway, we'll continue on this with Power 4. Not necessarily locks of the week, but just whatever he's thinking. We're going to go here for just like the first games that are starting. So in a week, right? Crazy good matchup in the first week. So we got Iowa State, Kansas State, Farmageddon, which is an awesome game and an awesome name in itself, right? But for having that as the first game of college football, I think that sets the tone for this year and how crazy of a year this should be for college football fans. So Kansas State, Iowa State. Kansas State coming in, I think, ranked 17th in the nation. Iowa State at 22nd. I think the line right now is Kansas State -3. So pretty sketchy line for anybody who wants to bet. Spreads there. A total for over-under is 49.5. That's a hard number just because first game of the year, right? I don't know how you feel about this, but usually defenses first to start the year seem to be maybe a little stronger just because offenses aren't quite clicking, not quite in their tempo and on the same page yet. It's different when you're scrimmaging against your own team, right? And then you go see somebody else who's got different speed and different guys. Everything that you were just doing in practice doesn't go out the window, but the game changes and the speed of the game changes itself. It's not practice no more. This is the real thing. So, and they're playing in Ireland, so they're playing not on U.S. soil.
That's awesome.
And it's grass, different type of field, which is great for Farmageddon. You think about Ireland, right? Green hills and all this crap, all the farms and sheep. Farmageddon, perfect spot to put Ireland in a freaking football game, right? So I'm stoked for this one. 9 a.m. kickoff, Pacific Standard Time on ESPN next Saturday. I like Iowa State. The reason why I like Iowa State, I would take them to cover the +3, or honestly, I would take them straight up. They got returning quarterback who was a great Big 12 player last year. So that's my pick for that. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same. I feel like Kansas State, I don't know if they finished last year, but I feel like they're kind of middle of the road, and they had some games where they look like a top team within that in that conference, and then there were some weeks where it's like you don't know what's going to happen, right, or what team's going to show up,
right. Inconsistent.
But I do look at Iowa State as how are they going to recover from the Big 12 beat down that Arizona State gave them. But then there is a side where, they might come back hungrier. And it sounds like they got the same quarterback. Maybe the same team. Maybe they were young last year, a little inexperienced, but.
And it's a conference game.
Yeah.
It's a conference game to start out the year, which is crazy in itself. It's a big rivalry game. So all the juices are running, right? We've been hitting the same people for weeks now in practice. Now we get to hit our rivals. First game of the year. I mean, that's cooking. So I like Iowa State though. I like them to cover the 3. I think that's a solid bet. If you can tease it, man, tease that thing to a 3.5 and take Iowa State 3.5. But that little hook of the half is great. So and the over under on that 49.5, I really do think it's gonna be maybe a low scoring game. Guys getting their feelers out. A lot of emotions running into the first game. You're playing in unfamiliar territory in a different country. I kind of like the under on the 49.5. I know Big 12 isn't really known for defense, but I think these two teams, given what's at stake in the first game of the year, I kind of like the under.
Yes, being in Ireland is, as football guys and people that played football that are watching, like, you go to a place that you've never been to, or you don't know what the weather's like or how the field's going to treat you. That stuff, it could definitely, that ball can bounce your way or the wrong way, and it could be a ball game. Was it Florida State and Georgia Tech played there last year to start the season?
Yep.
And it ended in a game-winning field goal or whatnot.
It was a great game.
It was a good game, yeah.
And you don't know the conditions of the field,
no.
right? Who knows? It might be just absolutely pouring rain in August in Ireland, and it's just an absolute mud show. We don't really know. So I think the safe bet is to take the underdog and take Iowa State in the first game, right?
Yeah.
We got to ride with the dogs. Let's ride with the dogs the first game of the year.
Yeah.
Next one is you got UNLV Idaho State. Not a big eye opener to people. It's an eye opener to me. The only reason why I say that is because last show, and I took UNLV to win the Mountain West this year. I think with the guys they got coming back, the coordinators they have with Dan Mullen, this team is basically, they're ready to rock, man. And Boise State not having Genty, UNLV is the team to win the conference. They're going to beat Idaho State, hopefully by like 40 plus, and just run the holy crud out of them. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for UNLV for a W and a big W week 1. I don't know if you have any other different thoughts behind that besides Idaho State and they're an FCS school, but
yeah,
that's just my opinion.
I mean, it is, I think it's UNLV all day. And like you said, obviously they're losing in that game to Boise State. I mean, they should be pretty hungry. I mean, they lost, Ricky lost him as his best, probably the best receiver in that conference in the Mountain West. But yeah, I mean, Mountain West team versus an FCS team. I mean, you would think they would, should win and should win by a good margin. I'm gonna go with the Rebels on that one.
Go with the Rebs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they have a spread line on that one yet. Next one, you got two more well-known teams. Another Mountain West school, so a G5 school with Fresno State. That is the QB battle I was talking about with EJ Warner, Kurt Warner's son, who's actually, I think, the worst of the two transfers that are coming in. He had 37 picks in 3 years at Temple and Rice. So you like picks? Yeah, we like that. So not great. If he's starting week one against a Kansas team who they're a basketball school, they're traditionally a basketball school, right? But the football program has been substantially better in the last 4 years.
They got the quarterback still.
They got the quarterback. The stadium's getting renovated. The fans are excited because they don't just have to watch basketball and wait for basketball season every year. They can actually watch a team that might be able to win 6 or 7 games. Fresno State, not too thrilled what they're going to look like this year, so I'm definitely going to take Kansas. The spread's minus 12. Over-under is 50.5. I don't know if I'm going to touch the over-under, but I do like Kansas minus 12. I think they start the year out with a bang and really try to create some noise early against a team that, we were kind of unsure about, but usually they're a decent program in the Mountain West. If EJ Warner's starting, give me Kansas minus 12 and a pick 6. Yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah, obviously I think Kansas, should win this game and should win by a good margin, like I said, by UNLV. But the only thing that scares me, it is Fresno State. Fresno State is a scary team. Regardless of who they're playing, they're always good. But if the same quarterback shows up that he's been, downplaying a little bit, or maybe he shows up like Kurt Warner, who knows? And I think it's Kansas, and yeah, it's going to be by a couple scores.
Next game, another G5. So first year in the FBS, Sam Houston, coming from the FCS, which they actually had a great 10-win season last year. Opening off against Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky is going to be a team that is going to compete for their conference. They've done so for the last couple of years. They're coming in at a decent favorite, double digit at a minus 10. Sam Houston, team that's got a lot to prove. Western Kentucky's not a big name school. They're going to be a team that throws the ball a lot. So, that's the type of thing that I see early is, okay, can you take care of the ball early if you're going to throw the ball 50 times a game? Can we avoid having the turnovers and giveaways? That's something Sam Houston can, I think, capitalize on. So I would like to take Sam Houston plus the 10. I know it's at Western Kentucky, but I do like Sam Houston to maybe cover 10 points there. They're now having to make a name for themselves at the big stage. We're not an FCS school no more. And some of these games are interesting to me, right? Because Fresno State, a team that Oregon State plays in the second game this year. Sam Houston is a team that Oregon State plays later on in the year. So it'll be interesting to kind of see what they look like, what kind of offense they're looking to run. But I'm taking Sam Houston to cover the plus 10 against Western Kentucky. Over under is 60.5, so pretty big number. I do like the under in the 60.5. First game of the year, usually the scoring is down. So I like the under in the 60.5, but I like Sam Houston plus 10.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Western Kentucky to win this game. Just being a team that's, at this level and has competed and done fairly well for the most part. But again, a team that's hungry and wants to prove themselves as, trying to prove that they moved up for a reason. And, they're a team that can compete. You just hope Western Kentucky shows up with Bailey Zappi at quarterback. And
hey, don't talk crap about Western Kentucky. So Liam, one of his favorite teams in the world is Western Kentucky, and it's because of freaking Bailey Zappi. And I'm like, Liam,
he's got records, right? He's got a bunch of
records, and then he gets the NFL, and he's Bailey picky because that's all he does, throw picks. He's not very zappy anymore. He's pretty lame, is what he is. But hey, I'm not gonna take anything away from the guy. I mean, he was decent in college. So then the other one we got is, let's see, what is that fourth and final game. Stanford, Hawaii. Could be a snooze fest. Could be a snooze fest. Ben Branson, Oregon State quarterback.
Yeah.
You were at that game this Civil War that he handed the ball off to beat Oregon 100 times or whatever it was. Still don't understand how we won that game.
That was a great game.
that was a lot of fun. I was in Georgia, so true story here. During that game, I was supposed to go. He takes my ticket and he goes to the game. I'm in Georgia with my family for Thanksgiving. The game started out okay, got worse and got worse and got worse. And I took my jersey off. I took my hat off. I had no shirt on and just pants. And I locked myself in a room and didn't watch basically almost the whole second half. I was so mad, partially because I had money on the game to just cover the spread, and the spread wasn't looking good. So I was pissed. And then I keep getting these little texts and these little messages, and people are like, hey, it's not over. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. And I'm like, who's going to be okay? Like, we're down 34-17 in the fourth quarter. It's not going to be okay. And then all of a sudden I can hear my dad cheering from upstairs, and I'm downstairs in the basement, the bonus room they have at my family's house. And I just can remember thinking there's absolutely no way we have any shot of even becoming it, within 10 points in this game, because we couldn't throw the ball, because Ben Branson can't throw the football. So then
I think it was 31-10 going into the fourth quarter.
31-10, and then it was 34. It was 34-17 because I remember they kicked a field goal. We went down and we scored. Then somebody's like, okay, so whenever we get the ball, you should watch. I'm like, okay. Whenever you're on defense, you shouldn't watch because it's working. It's just working. I'm like, all right. So we get the ball, I'm watching. It's just handoff, 8-yard gain, 6-yard gain. Damian Martinez had an absolute day. And we had a true freshman, Isaiah Newell, who hasn't touched the football all year, and then he wants to get in the rivalry game, and he wants to get on the mix with 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. It was incredible. I mean, I just remember tuning back in, seeing the muffed punt on the 1-yard line, and that changed the whole game. Oregon goes for it on 4th down and 2 on their own 40, doing what Oregon does every year, which is why they never win a big game. Sorry, Duck fans, but your play calling from coach to coach to coach to coach you've had over the last 10 years is horrendous when the game is on the line. So 4th and 2, we're going to run a quarterback read option, keep with Bo Nix and get stuffed. We go down and score again. They go all the way down, and I literally I just remember I still didn't have a shirt on. I didn't put my jersey or anything back on. And they're down on the goal line, looking to score, looking to win the game. We get a 4th down stop on the goal line, and I just remember exploding. And I just remember the videos from you like, dude, this is when the stadium only had half the stadium because it was being renovated. Yeah. So the whole one side of the stadium, there was nobody in because it's all being renovated. So you had the end zones, and then what would be the old side. So you probably had, 20,000, 22, 23,000 people.
Felt like 60.
Right. And he kept saying it feels like there's like 60,000 people. It's so crazy in here. For anybody who hasn't been to a game in Corvallis, go to a game that's worth something there. Go to a night game when it sells out for 40,000. And I know it's not SEC football. It's different. But there's something about Corvallis at night. When you pack it with 40K, it's pretty special. They're a ruckus group. So anyway, I don't want to get any too far into that. But Ben Branson, that guy who can't throw the football, starting for Stanford. They announced that as a starter. Good for him. Proud of you, dude. I'm glad you can go on and go play somewhere else. But give me Hawaii. I'm just saying, Hawaii's a -2.5. Give me Hawaii -2.5. If they can't beat Stanford by a field goal, Hawaii is only going to win one game this year if they can't beat Stanford, because Stanford might be the second worst team on their schedule. And it's the first game of the year.
Man.
And Hawaii's at home. I know it's Hawaii. Hawaii's hasn't been good since Colt Brennan was there. And they got blown out by Georgia. But I'm telling you right now, Stanford is going to be one of the most miserable, embarrassing teams in college football this season. just simply because of the fact that they chose to start Ben Gulbranson.
See, I don't have any hate towards anybody, man. So
I don't have. It's not hate.
I don't know.
It's just facts that you can't throw the football.
Yeah, I don't know what Hawaii team's going to show up. I mean, obviously, recently they haven't been very good the last couple of years.
And the 52.5, give me the under because no one's going to score.
I mean,
it might be 13-10.
I don't know, dude. I'm going to go Stanford. I'm going to see what happens. I don't know what Hawaii team's going to show up. I know they're at home. Give me the Cardinals, man. Give me the Cardinals.
It's the Cardinal.
Give me the Cardinal.
They're a tree.
They're
not an actual bird. They're not an actual bird.
You know what? Now give me Hawaii. I don't like that, dude. You're a Cardinal and a tree. Give me the Rainbow Warriors. That's it.
You got
You're
that
right.
one right.
Everything you said was right.
I'm not always
Stanford,
right. I'm not always right. I'm just
one win this year and no idea who it's going to be against.
I'm going with my gut. Going with my gut feeling. Oh boy. So there's our locks for the week. They're not locks. Please do not bet those. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. I'm giving you a rough estimate, an actual guess of what I think is gonna go down. I'm just excited football is back, dude. I know you're going week 1 with me to go watch Oregon State play Cal. That game, gosh, I'm so excited, dude.
Hopefully not, but I'll go.
Let's go, man. I'm so excited.
I got other plans, but yeah, that's gonna be fun.
So excited. So yeah, we'll actually do some conference winners if you want to do that.
Yeah. So
we'll just run through that really, really quick. So like ACC, I mean, you should know most of these big time schools. So ACC, if you had to pick somebody just right off the bat of looking at it, I know you're kind of a biased fan towards Notre Dame, but I mean, what do you think, man? I mean, me personally, I think Clemson's obviously the lead front runner here. SMU's got a lot of hype still, but how they turned out last year towards the end of the year when they had to play Penn State in the College Bowl playoff and got pretty much embarrassed, which it's not easy to go in and go play Penn State at their place at all. Totally get that, but I don't see the firepower there to be able to win a conference. I know Duke, we'll see how they're going to be this year. They got some new transfer guys in the Malik going out, but I don't think they're a conference winner. Florida State, not impressed. Haven't been impressed for quite some time. DJU there. I'm sorry that you guys had him at Florida State last year. I feel your pain.
He's in the league.
I don't know how he's in the league, but I feel your pain because at Oregon State he cost us some serious football games. Stanford is going to be the worst team, like I said, in that conference. But Louisville's supposed to be good. That's a sleeper team that I could see maybe making some noise. Just going to see what they look like when they play a big-time team. Miami's the other one that's ranked. I'm not so sold on them without Cam Ward and no Damian Martinez. They don't have Elijah Ororo at tight end. I don't know. I don't. To me, Clemson should be the clear-cut favorite of the conference.
Yeah, I think Clemson will. I think they got some. I mean, I know last year they won the ACC, right? Beat SMU. People may look at that year as a down year. I mean, they did have some bumps in the road. I know they still made the playoffs and had an okay game to start against Texas, and I really thought they might come into Texas and.
Well, not to mention they have Cade. They have Cade Klubnik still.
Yeah.
Heisman
favorite
should be ACC Player of the Year. Toughest game they open off with LSU, which is wow. I mean, what a game to open off with. It's not a conference game though. Toughest conference game is looking like it's either. You got to go to Chapel Hill and go play North Carolina, but who knows how they're going to be. They got Belichick, so you just never know there with Old Man Bell. But they host SMU at home. Again, I don't think SMU's got the firepower for it. They have to go on the road to Louisville, which I think is going to be their toughest challenge. That should be a game that, could be maybe later. It's later on in the season. That could be a college football, college game day type game there.
Yeah.
A good matchup. But besides that, the last game there, they got to play a rivalry game against South Carolina, but it's not a conference game. So Clemson, to me, clear front runner for the ACC. let's go to what do we got? Big 12, man. Big 12. We're just talking about Farmageddon. Farmageddon obviously could be a big one because I think those two teams are obviously going to be competing for a top spot in that conference. Arizona State looking to bounce back again, which in my opinion is my favorite to win the conference.
Yeah.
They made huge noise last year when nobody thought they would. Sam Levitt's a local kid
Shout out Sam,
that
man.
you know, yeah.
Portland area.
Yeah, Portland area, Westland, right? Westland High
Yeah,
School.
Westland.
So a huge season by them by what nobody thought was going to happen by any means. Cam Scattaboo, obviously they won't have anymore. But running backs, you can find running backs. You can find guys that can make plays with a quarterback like Sam, and now he has some actual experience playing in big time games, and they performed. I mean, they didn't play bad at all in that college football playoff. I think they played really well. They had every opportunity to win that game themselves. So to me, I like Arizona State to win that conference. The only other school I maybe could see is I know Texas Tech is second in the nation in NIL money coming in with the transfers. But I've seen it time and time again where they talk like that about Oregon and USC and all these other schools that are supposed to have all these guys, Georgia, Texas A&M, schools that have all this money coming in with transfers, and then it's kind of a flop, right? An 8-win season when you got all that doesn't really seem like a winning season for those type of schools. Obviously, Tech hasn't been like crazy relevant as of late. You know, they're always just floating around. They're obviously a big name team that you don't forget about from the Michael Crabtree days and stuff like that. But, you know, that's just we're just going to see how they kind of pan out with all those transfers coming in. I like Arizona State. I think them or Texas Tech would be my two maybe to win that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Arizona State too. I mean they're coming off a red hot year. You know, I think a lot of people know what it's like to come off a year where you had major success, and I'm sure they had belief, but you know sometimes you didn't think you'd make it that far, and it really does go into the next season, and it brings some hype. And obviously you got to stay healthy, and the healthiest team's always going to win. I don't know how Utah's going to be this year. Utah's always a good team. They always have good games.
Always good defensively.
Always come out on top in close games. You know, they could be up there. I don't know. I don't think they're going to make it to the championship game, but they could be a scary opponent to face. Yeah, I'm going Arizona State.
Yeah, I like it. Big Ten. What do you think? What do you think Big Ten if you had to pick? I think this is kind of, to me, there's like one favorite, which is a team that usually isn't a favorite. You know, they're usually up there in conversation. They're not usually a clear-cut favorite. I think this might be one of the first years in a long time that this school that I'm thinking of, which I'm not going to say yet, I'll let you pick, but that I think is the clear-cut favorite to win this conference. Like I said on the first show, I don't mean to bag on Oregon, man, but I think the offense they're going to have this year might be the worst offense they will have in the last decade. Defensively, they should be really, really good. It's just a matter of can they actually still put up the points like they usually do. If Oregon can put up points and they prove me wrong offensively, they're going to win this conference. But besides that, there's one other team. What do you think? What you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously, you got Ohio State that's coming off a great year. Arguably the best player in college football, probably one of the best. Probably going to go down as one of the best players that ever played college football, just based off freshman season. Obviously, got to put 2 more years together. Penn State's coming off a good year. Thought they didn't look as great. I know they made it to the semis, right? Didn't look as great as the year kind of came down to it and kind of picked up in the playoffs again. They could be a scary game. I'm not sure who plays at home this year. I'm assuming that Ohio State's going to be at home in that game. That could be for the conference. Can't cut out Michigan, man. Michigan's always going to be
Bryce Underwood, true freshman. Yeah. He's got a lot of hype. I don't know what else they got around him to help him out receiver wise, but no Colston Loveland either. So,
I mean, they're always a good team pounding the rock, and you know they got their guy as head coach, and you know that team's gonna be hungry, and obviously come off a good win against the team that won the national championship. They're just a gritty group of team, and that's their DNA, that's their culture. I mean, yeah, UCLA with Nico. I mean, obviously a great quarterback. don't know how many pieces they have for that team to really go very far.
Yeah.
Illinois was making some noise last year. Indiana always seems to give Ohio State some struggle. I don't know what it is about that, but they always seem to do that. Obviously, Ohio State, they got a new quarterback this year. I think Julian Sayin is his name. I think he should be a good guy. Obviously, you got Jeremiah Smith. You got Caleb Downs. Forget their linebacker's name. Obviously, a good linebacker. They're going to have a good defense. Offense is always pretty solid. Receiver core is always
top notch.
I mean,
it speaks for itself.
Yeah, people can argue it's probably receiver U.
Yeah.
Just so many guys that they've brought in. I mean, I don't know. You're going to say I think I'm going to go Ohio State, and I feel like that's the favorite to win the whole thing this year, possibly back to back. I think the only team that's going to really give them a run for their money is going to be Penn State. Obviously, I think they're ranked 2, and Ohio State's ranked 3 going into the year. But I'm going to ride the hot hand and go with the Buckeyes, man.
I'm going Penn State.
Yeah.
So, reason I was saying, they're usually not the favorite. But I think with the returners they have, they did lose, obviously, a tight end who was phenomenal as an all-around guy. But, and he did a little bit of everything for them. But, I mean, you got to have more than just a tight end to win a national championship. But I do like Penn State this year. I think with the home field advantage that they have, I think this is finally the time where they have enough pieces to where they can make some noise. And too many new pieces with the other teams like Ohio State, Michigan, and I don't, again, the firepower thing, right? Obviously, they're not huge name teams, Illinois, Indiana type people. I just don't see them having the type of pieces they would need to win a conference like that. Oregon obviously is Oregon. Like I said, if the offense proves me wrong, that's going to be the team to reckon with, especially because it seems like them at home is extremely hard to beat them down at Autzen. So I like Penn State, and especially because Oregon's got to go to Happy Valley and go play at Penn State this year. So
it's not a good place to play.
No. So I'm going to take Penn State. I think that's my that's going to be my favorite for the Big Ten. Do a couple more here. Obviously, the Pac-2. Who do you want to take in the Pac-2? Yeah, you better say the right team here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, people don't know. I got people that went, family members that went to Oregon State. My brother went to Oregon State.
Peyton Volk, baby, shout out.
Man, I've always been in the Beav Nation, man. So I'm a Beaver guy throughout, and that's always been my team. But again, I think he was mentioned earlier that Wazoo is. I don't know what it is about Wazoo and Oregon State, but they always.
It's always now we have to play each other. One at home, home and home. Yeah. It's like I feel like we're gonna split. I really hope we don't, but
yeah.
I mean, I'm
Oregon State's got some good pieces coming back. I mean, I think they should. I mean,
it's only there's only
they're not going
to
lose both of them.
Not going to lose both of them.
Yeah, but I could definitely see them winning both of them.
And then total record, I think this is the year that we really got to make a boom or bust type of year and go out and get 8 or 9 wins or get 10, something like that. You got to do something crazy, make some noise for yourself if you're Oregon State. SEC, this will be the last big conference to do here. SEC here. Man, I don't know. SEC football, man. It's so different. It's so different. It's different from everybody else. I don't care what anybody says. The SEC is the SEC. They're built differently in that conference. Whether it's solo team, obviously Big Ten teams have been winning the Natties as of late. But, I mean, the Alabama can never count them out. Georgia obviously can never count them out. Florida is my big improvement this year. The last couple down years, I mean, I watched Oregon State pound Florida by 40 in a bowl game just a couple of years ago. I mean, to me, that's about as low as you can get as a Florida Gator. Getting worked by Oregon State is crazy. So I think they need to have a huge bounce back year. That should be the biggest sleeper, not to win the conference, but to just have a hell of a year. I think they need to have a really, really good year as the Gators. LSU obviously is LSU. But now with Oklahoma and Texas in the conference, it's just nuts, right? I mean, you look at how many teams are going to be ranked. It's like their baseball program, same type of thing in the SEC. They have 15 ranked programs in the top 25 in baseball.
Only one can win, man.
And that's the same thing in football. They're going to have, 10 teams ranked in the top 25, but there's only one that's going to come out on top. I know Ghost would say otherwise, that Texas is going to be the best team in this conference and win a natty. And I'm not going to say yes or no to that because, honestly, I don't know enough about Texas like he would to say if he is comfortable with making a statement like that. To me, I root for A&M because of Liam. He doesn't want to hear that right now on this podcast at all. But so I got to shout out A&M. I don't know how they're going to be this year. Obviously, Marcel Reed's coming back. They should have a decent year. Johnny was just on a podcast the other day. Manziel was saying, hey, I got all the belief in the world of Marcel Reed. I think that whole year of getting some time under his belt is going to make a huge difference for him. Crazy speed. I mean, the guy's a great playmaker. It's just a matter of the arm and accuracy. Can he really manage that? All my family's back east in Georgia. I got to ride with the Bulldogs. That's just going to be my take. I don't know too much about them as far as what they're going to have to bring this year besides is Georgia. And I'm comfortable with taking Georgia if I had to pick somebody out of this conference. So at the end of the day, though, this is like a 50-50 on 10 different teams on who you could take. Tennessee, you got South Carolina, Ole Miss, I think, is actually going to be a lot better than people think, even after losing Jackson Dart. So another sleeper team with Ole Miss, so don't sleep on them either. But, I got to go with Georgia. But what do you think? If you just had to pick one.
Yeah, SEC is crazy. I don't know enough about some of the teams either or what they're looking like. I know Alabama's got a new quarterback coming in, or I guess he's been there, but it's not Jalen Milroe anymore.
Yeah.
You got Texas got Arch Manning. Obviously, he showed some signs of could be an elite player last year in some of their, short run game stuff. And
which is crazy because I felt like he has all the capability to be better than what Quinn Ewers was, and they were just rocking with Quinn all year and kind of putting him in like these special packages. Which I was listening to Ghost's podcast the other day talking about that is Arch, can he be the guy? Can he be the best quarterback to ever play in a Texas uniform type of guy? Or is it just that much hype? I mean, I'm sorry, but Vince Young is Vince Young, man. That's the best player to ever wear a Texas uniform right there to me. Yeah. But Arch, I mean, I don't know. We've seen a little bit of a sample size. You see the little flashes of things. But now this is the year. This is the year where it's like, okay, either put the big boy pants on or you're still going to be a Wildcat type quarterback and put you in special situations. This is the year where he's really got to make a jump. And it's still early in his career, but I mean, you're not coming at a preseason rank of being number one for no reason. So, it's time to get off the pot. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah. So I mean that's gonna break it down for the conferences. We got basically a tiny little short clip, and we're gonna get out of here. We've been on here for a little while now. Again, appreciate you guys for listening. This is great. Again, this is Tanner Volk here, National Player of the Year, the Division II level, Cliff Harris Award winner. We're going to go good, bad, and the ugly. It's kind of a segment I want to do every week. It can be anything. So if there's a good highlight, I'll play this as the good. The bad will be a bad highlight, a horrible play, or an ugly play. I personally like it this week. We're just going to go off with the good, the bad, and the ugly for uniforms. So give me, I got a couple in my head of the good uniforms. I think if I had to go with a good uniform, the Sparky logo on the side of the helmet, with the classic ASU unis. That one's really hard for me to top that one. That's one of my favorites all time. It's one of my favorite logos. I also love any Oklahoma State combination they can come up with. There is so many. I wish Oregon State would rock their unis like they do. And with all the different combinations is nuts. But they always have solid looks. And then Oregon State's throwback unis that they wore just a couple years ago. Those are my favorite Beavs unis that we got. I wish we just completely just keep them completely, go back to those. What you got? What are your favorite, what are the good unis out there that you like?
I was gonna say Oklahoma State too is one of mine. it's not too flashy, but it's clean. It goes well together. Obviously, we're fans of the orange and black. They got different combinations. It's not just one jersey and then the other. It's multiple combinations they can put together. It's clean, good colors. I think a lot of people. I have a funny story, but I think there's a lot of people when the new college football game came out. There's the dynasty mode, and a lot of guys either choose their favorite team. I shouldn't say a lot of guys or girls that play the game either choose their favorite team or they're going to choose a team that's got the cleanest jerseys. And for me, I started my dynasty with none other than up in Chapel Hill with North Carolina. And I think the Jordan jerseys, I mean, they're clean, they're fresh. They got different ways to go about it.
And I'm yelling at my dad right now because he hates baby blue. He hates it's like his least favorite color, and I love it. I absolutely like their baseball uniforms. I love. Can't go wrong with the basketball unis are the same two every year. But the football unis they're so clean. I love when they go white lids, baby blue, and white pants is probably my favorite. Those debuted Ryan Switzer. Anybody know who Ryan Switzer is? Slot receiver.
Switz, man.
That man was cold white receiver. That was Wes Welker after Wes Welker retired. I wish he would have gotten more of a look like Hunter Renfrow did. That's another guy. Anyway, Ryan Switzer, he rocked those unis down at UNC. Those were some of my favorites. Any other favorites? Any others you can think of off the top of your head?
Man, I don't. There's a lot of clean unis.
I mean, it's tough, right? I mean, you have like Notre Dame. Just the blue with gold lids is pretty hard to beat. There's not a lot to it at all. Penn State, Alabama, Georgia. It's the same unis every year. It's the same thing you're gonna get, but they're clean. A
clean one to me in the SEC that we're talking about. Very clean chrome helmet. Sometimes they rock it, sometimes they don't. Kentucky's got a clean helmet. Yeah. The unis are kind of whatever, but when they rock the chrome helmet, I believe they wore it against Georgia when they should have beat Georgia last year. Yeah. Those are clean. I mean, Oregon's Oregon with all the money. Phil Knight.
694 different combinations.
Yeah, I think sometimes they can get a kind of crazy with it. But I mean, it's still clean. It's still flashy. It's eye popping.
See, I some of their unis are just hideous, horrible to look at. But they have some like when they go all whites or they go like even just a traditional dark green, like their actual school colors. Yeah. I loved when they did the throwbacks, when they did the actual like the candy apple green with the old U of O duck on it. I mean, those are clean. I actually really like those ones. I can't stand the all yellows. The electric yellow stuff is just, or the neon freaking glow in the dark. That stuff I can't do.
Before we get into the ugly, I will say one of the worst uniforms I've ever seen from Oregon is when they rocked those unis that had the orange socks and the orange cleats to replicate
a duck.
The duck.
That's what I mean.
Those
are bad.
Oh yeah,
those are bad.
Those are by far one of the worst uniforms I've ever seen. Whoever created that, I know Nike has had a lot of layoffs, and me being from Beaverton in the heart
Nike headquarters.
Nike had a lot of layoffs, and I really hope whoever created that was one of them. Because, no, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't wish that on somebody, but those were hideous.
They were bad,
and hopefully those stay
away and never come back
for, if not a while, forever. Yeah.
And I think there is a difference why I do good and bad, or I do good, bad, and ugly, because there is some bad uniforms. Yeah. Like those were just ugly. Those were ugly.
To me, they might be sick to some people, or
they're
cool
ugly.
To some people, but to me, they're beyond ugly. They're like never should ever be seen.
Yeah, I mean, there's like bad. So like Georgia Southern. I don't mean to bag on Georgia Southern. My cousin's a senior there. Go Eagles. But your unis are so plain and boring. They're bad. And the reason being, it's like you have a cool logo, a cool mascot, and they do like basically they look like not Georgia. They look like Alabama. Literally the same exact uniform as Alabama, except they're navy blue and white. Yeah. And I'm like, can we do something else?
And there's some teams that like Alabama, I don't see them changing their uniform. Like Alabama is who they are, and they're going to continue wearing those with their black, the same combo with the black cleats,
Every game.
Every game is going to be the exact same thing.
Like
because
USC
the
does the same
traditional
thing.
USC, Notre Dame, like all these historic teams are going to keep rocking their stuff. I mean, like we both are Yankee fans. The Yankees are not going to change the pinstripe. They're not going to change the gray away uniforms. That's who they are. But there are some teams that aren't that status that just you got to try something else that's going to catch the eye of the audience and your fan base. And
the Kelly Green unis that Notre Dame wears, I can't do those either.
No,
those are bad. Those aren't even ugly.
Those aren't.
They're just
They're
kind of bad. Yeah,
they're not ugly, but we've seen better.
Yeah. I think ugly. If anybody watches FCS and knows North Dakota State, those I needed to put clips on here so y'all could see this. Their uniforms are flat out freaking ugly. They are so bad. They've had for one, they're the same uniforms that they've had for 20 years. They look the exact same. They have, they used to wear like the NFL unis back in the day where you could see through. Same with college. Like they had the ones where it's like they have the little hole so you can actually see through, like the mesh.
Oh, you mean like the Green Bay Packers?
Yes. Literally. So that's what theirs are like, except it's the nasty. I mean, it's kind of like your Sprite bottle. It's gross. And it's got yellow. It literally is their colors. It's disgusting. They've wore the same thing, the bright yellow helmets, and I hate them. I just hate them. I don't like them. I don't mind North Dakota State at all, but their uniforms, they need to get something else. They haven't changed them. They look like they're still from 1984. They're not good.
Yeah, I think besides the Oregon
the web foot duck.
The web foot. God, dude. I think I'm going to go to the Sun Belt Conference. And it's only one specific jersey. They got black ones. They got white ones. Those are clean. But I can't do Coastal Carolina turquoise jerseys on the turquoise turf, dude. I can't do those.
If they didn't have the turf, I don't think
they could use it to – I mean, I'm sure they don't like it either. And they could use it to their advantage because you might be able to hide some players on the field with that jersey. But goodness gracious, man. I mean –
they're ugly.
If you find yourself wearing that jersey and you're posting Instagram photos in it, probably just put in the archive for a while. Those are bad.
Well,
maybe it's just turquoise, dude. I don't know.
It's not even. It's like it's a weird turquoise. It's more green than anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
what to think of it.
they're muted. Like they're not bright. So they don't have any real appeal. They're like very dirty looking. Because the turf there, I don't know how old the turf is, or if they wanted.
It's got to be 10 years.
I mean, it looks like it needs to be replaced. And the uniforms match it perfectly. They are dirty as crap. They don't look good at all. The black ones are good. I don't mind the black ones at all. With just a teal number is great. The all teal unis they wear, I would agree, are really, really hideous. And they blend in with the turf. I'm sure it's hard to see those guys like Boise State. I'm not a huge Boise State uniform guy. Like when they go blue on the blue turf, why is that not illegal still? I don't understand. I mean, literally you lose guys. Like I'm just watching on TV, you lose where they're at. When they wear the orange ones or white ones, they're great. The Fiesta Bowl ones that they have with the white with the orange pants are great.
Those are clean.
Those are great, but I don't like the all blues are not my favorite thing. Coastals are terrible. Those are horrible unis.
I'm gonna add a greatest of all time.
Greatest uni ever?
Yeah, well, one of my personal favorites. I'm sure it's one of your personal favorites because it's one of your favorite players played here.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go down to Country Road. And I'm gonna go with the all gray West Virginia Tavon Austin.
Dude, that's
all
a
gray unis.
That's a great
those things are. They even had some camo ones, didn't they too? Those weren't bad.
No,
the all gray West Virginia.
Didn't think about those, dude.
Yeah, those are clean. I don't even know if they still wear them, but
no, those are
one of my
great.
favorites all time.
Yeah, that's a great poll, actually. Now that I think about it, it makes me want to watch
I hope all you guys have seen Tavon Austin highlights.
I was just going to say, it makes me want to watch Tavon Austin and put it on the screen
other
right
than
here.
Reggie Bush, those two hand in hand, and I know he loves Johnny football.
Yeah.
Tavon Austin, Reggie Bush, greatest two highlights
ever.
Mixtapes, I should say, of all time.
Yeah.
All great West Virginians. I think those are my greatest. Not even the good. There's the bad, the ugly, the good, and then there's the
the
greatest.
great.
To me, those are
Those are
extremely.
solid.
They're not flashy, but they're clean.
Those
They're
are solid.
clean.
I like them. All right. Well, dude, man. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Appreciate
yes,
y'all,
sir.
man.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I know we got just over an hour. Time flies when you're having fun and just talking.
Blast,
just
man.
shooting it.
I'll be
talking
back
about
on.
football.
Don't worry.
He'll be back. He'll be back. We'll do a little more digging as the season goes on. When teams will start rolling, we'll look back on some of these things that we brought up today that we started talking about. We'll go over those. A lot more G5 stuff coming up, guys. So I mean, just wait for next week. We got a lot more segments that I got coming that we'll do consistently every single week. G5 is going to be covered. So next week, upcoming. Just a little preview for next show. We got G5 conference top dogs who were thinking, bottom of the barrel guys who were thinking in all those conferences, Sunbelt, American, MAC. We're going to be covering all those guys, Mountain West, which I already touched on a little bit. So stay tuned. Be ready for next week. We'll send it out. Thank you guys again for listening. This is the Hurt Locker with Logan Herner. Guest here, Tanner Volk. Thanks for coming on, brother. Appreciate you guys. Yep. And we'll see y'all next time. Go Bees.